Miss A got a lot to say on all the things we go through within the day. Politics, dating, recipes, traveling, and yep, of course, I'm the karaoke queen. I take no L's, I'm always booking flights. This is my lovely lunatic Leo life. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? This is my lovely lunatic Leo life. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? The one and only S.A. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of My Lovely Lunatic Leo Life. Thank you for rocking with me for so long. It's been such a dope season, and as usual, I have dope ass guests come on my show with stories to tell. I'm not just here for no reason. These stories are here to inspire you to do whatever it is in life that you want to do, okay? So I have a special guest with me today, and her name is Donna the Biker. Woo-hoo! Give it up for Donna the Biker. She has an amazing story to tell. I actually saw her when I was working at my dad's place. She came in working hard, like you going hard for your story.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So I was like, she was talking to me about it. I was like, yo, you need to come on my podcast because this sounds amazing. Because I've never even heard a story like this. I've never even heard of the sport that this is about. So, you know what I'm saying? So you are a pioneer in my eyes about this. Okay, this is what we're going to call you, the pioneer, on the My Lovely Lunatic Leo Life podcast because she's got a lot going on. First of all, she's working on a movie called The Bike Nerd. It's called The Bike Nerd. This is all we can give you right now. It's still in the making, so you will be hearing about it more soon. And it's the United States' first urban hip-hop mountain bike story.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get into her story and get more details. But Donna, thank you so much for coming through.
You're welcome.
And let's get into it. So you are a biker. What kind of biker?
Well,
and look, and just in case you didn't notice, I got my little biking outfit on. It's not really a biking outfit, but it reminded me of one. I was like, all right, I'm going to look sporty today.
Very sleek.
Yeah, so what kind of biking is it?
It's actually downhill mountain biking.
Okay.
I am a commuter cyclist, and I was supposed to be the first black female from the United States to do professional downhill mountain biking. However, due to the extreme barriers that are in place, I was not able to access or gain access to the industry, or the professional industry of mountain biking and professional cycling.
Okay. First, why were you supposed to be? What happened?
Well, the supposed part, extreme poverty, lack of access to the professional industry as far as lack of access to the equipment. It's very, very expensive. The bikes that are utilized in this sport cost anywhere from $7,000 to $8,000 or $9,000
for a bike.
Yes, for a professional bike, for a competition level bike.
Sheesh.
The bikes that you see people riding in the streets, those are not the real mountain bikes.
Yeah,
those are the fakes.
Honestly, my friend she rides bike, like not like you, but she rides bikes, and she's part of a bike cruise and stuff. But she told me some expenses of the bikes, and even the bikes that she have like $1,000. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know bikes was like that. $1,000, $2,000.
Road bikes, mountain bikes, track bikes can run you anywhere from $2,000 up to $7,000 or $8,000 or $9,000. A Tour de France bike, a Tour de France competition level bike is about $20,000.
And how did you get introduced to this?
It's a long story. Like,
this is what we're here for. All right, well, tell the shorter version.
I've been hanging out, like I hung out with a bunch of guys in New York City. I used to go to all of the big time bike shops in New York City. We used to brag and we used to compete about our expensive high-tech bikes. I was the only female at the time, and I just got hooked on the hobby. It's basically like an adrenaline rush. So I developed a brand and an image to go with my backstory because I wanted to be a black female who broke the barrier for black women in the industry because it's pretty much a white male dominated thing.
Yeah, that's all I've seen riding bikes.
I wanted to be the one to alter and change the trajectory of the branding and the imagery inside the mountain bike industry and also the industry of extreme sports.
Okay. Now, is this in the Olympics?
It used to be, but now it's basically its own separate entity.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Downhill extreme mountain biking.
Yes.
That's the name of it.
Absolutely perfect. You're absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
Very few people have the ability to get it right, and you got it right. Definitely.
See, I be trying. This is what I do.
Perfect. It's awesome. Awesome.
Thank you. So, so you said you started with a bunch of guys doing bike riding,
Yes,
mountain bike riding.
We had all of us had like expensive tricked out mountain bikes, and we would ride our bikes like through the street. I used to commute on my mountain bike. I had a Trek dual suspension cross country mountain bike with carbon fiber wheels. It was at that time it was about $1,500, and that was a cheap one. All the guys, they all had like better bikes than me, and I was like very jealous. I mean, every other week we were like blowing all of our money on like cranks and wheels, and it's crazy sick. The hobby is literally like crack.
Yeah, I believe, and the part and what you guys want is expensive stuff too. It's not like
it's ridiculous. Like oh my god. So basically, the film will be about me attempting to break down that barrier as far as like becoming a professional athlete, not just becoming a professional athlete, but also creating a new brand and a new image for Black women as far as like being an extreme sports enthusiast.
So how do you train for this? Is this something that they go miles and miles, or this is, since it's downhill, it's like quick?
Well, you would actually need a lot of money to actually do the training, and you would need like you would need at least, I would say minimum like maybe $20,000 worth of equipment. Plus, you need a professional trainer, you need a licensed professional trainer, a fitness trainer, a strength and conditioning coach. You need proper health insurance. You need money to travel. The training part also consists of you going into a wind tunnel, and it's called mechanical wind tunnel resistance training.
Oh, wow. Damn.
And, yeah, it's very, very high tech.
It sounds scary.
There are professionals that will hook you up to a machine, and they monitor your heart rate, they monitor your
to make sure your body can handle all of this
the velocity
speed.
of the speed for the most part.
Wow.
And that's done for downhill mountain bike athletes. It's done for track athletes, and it's also done for cross country mountain bike athletes and professional Tour de France road cyclists.
So when you say you need professional trainers to train you, I'm thinking in my mind, is that how you feel? Because now I'm thinking Kenyans, y'all, you know Kenyans, they can run for miles and miles, they get training, but they don't have the money to pay for all that. And I know it's a different kind of sport, it's not as expensive as biking, but is there ways around it, like really finding someone just this dedicated to help you, or is there ways around having to do an expensive training?
Try to do something like this, unfortunately, this is not a budget sport. Cycling is not a budget. It's not a budget-based industry like basketball and track and field. Okay. You really need access to the equipment, and you need access to the proper training. If you do not have access to the professional trainers and actual equipment, you will not be able to be competitive in the industry. And those people that do have access, they will have a physical edge on you, and they will know it because you'll know it because you'll be able to see the gap. Right. Because there are things that one time I spoke with an actual mountain bike coach. And there were things that he mentioned there that I didn't have access to. I didn't have the money to buy it.
So you never had any training for this?
No.
But have you still done it?
I have done it, yes. I have done it. And I did not do well. I made the attempt, but I did not do well due to those issues. Due to the lack of the training, lack of the physical conditioning, lack of the strength conditioning that's needed, because you have to have a lot of upper body strength to move your bicycle. You need access to different... You also need to have bikes to cross-train. It's not just riding a downhill mountain bike down a mountain. You have to have road bike experience, which means you need a trainer that's licensed, a licensed professional trainer that understands road cycling, because that's going to build your muscular structure in your legs, and it's also going to build your cardio. So there's a lot of cardio involved in the sport. And if you don't have access to a person that specializes in building cardio fitness, then you're pretty much not going to win. You're not going to be a good competitor.
So if you never had the training so you've never competed either?
No, there's no way for me to compete.
How much is the competition about?
Well, one downhill mountain bike's around $7,000 or $8,000.
Oh my god, it just makes me cringe.
One road bike, because like I said before, you need access to a good road bike to train, to do cross training. A decent road bike's also around $7,000 or $8,000. You also have to be fitted, which means you go into a professional bike shop that has access to a professional licensed fitter, and they will take your body measurements. But
why is everything licensed?
Everything, the sport is a very, very elite professional sport. And the deeper you get inside, the more you will find out how much access you need to the professional people, not the lay people on the street. There's a very big difference. If you're just dealing with average street people or lay people, you can forget it.
Wow.
That's how big the gap is, as far as like what the general public has access to compared to what the elite professionals know and what they have access to. It's very big. It's a very big gap.
So why did you, I don't want to ask you about you going for your dreams. I'm just saying, with all the adversities you faced and the money aspect of it, why are you still going hard for this?
I'm still going hard for it because I not to become an athlete per se, but to tell the backstory, to sell the brand, tell the story, and sell the image. That's really what I'm after.
Good. And I like that. That's why I asked you that, because I like the fact that even though it's not too late though for you, is it?
There are people that compete in this industry, and there isn't really an age limit.
Okay.
There's no age limit. It's just you have to have the money.
You got, yeah.
And most average people, especially folks from our community, do not have the money and the backing.
So with this movie, are you hoping to get a fundraiser in order to help you be able to start to be able to compete?
Well, the competition part, that is another chapter. Right now, we're just focusing on getting the backstory out.
Getting your story out.
There is a film that I'm utilizing as an example. There was a movie called Hoop Dreams that came out back in the mid-90s.
I remember.
And there was these two African American males. They wanted to become professional basketball players. They did not make it. But they became sports icons in the basketball industry, even though they did not make it to become professional athletes. So I'm using that as my example.
Okay.
I was not able to become a professional athlete in the sport. However, I have a huge backstory and a huge brand and a huge image that would be perfect for the industry.
Yeah. And you helping other people, brown girls, get into have the inspiration to get into it.
Of course.
You know, and with or without money. You know, I mean, I know a lot of things cost money, but I'm always a big believer, if you really want to get it, eventually you're going to get to what you want to do. No matter if it's doing it actually or helping somebody get into do it actually. So if you're not able to do it yourself, you're going to help other people or other girls, women or men, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Whoever they are.
Whoever they want. You're going to help them get the strength to keep fighting to get into it. You know what I mean?
Example. So, of course,
they definitely need an example, because I've heard of mountain biking, of course, but I never knew it was like, I didn't know it was this deep. You know, it's a sport that's expensive and it's really for the rich white men, you know, like almost everything else.
And that's why I have to, I have to do it.
You have to break the barrier.
A poor brown girl from Newark that wanted to do a sport that was invented for rich white men. I have to, like that. It's like it's a drug. It's a drug.
I can tell just by the way your body's shivering right now. Like, listen, y'all not gonna stop me from getting to this, or my kind. We will break into this. You know, not even break into it, but
and I have tons of research. Like,
you've done your research on it.
I will tap dance all over them.
Yeah. I just wish it wasn't all about the money, because I still feel, even though you're telling me how expensive everything is, and I get it as far as the equipment you need, but I feel like for the training, I feel like you just need discipline. It's a lot of discipline, and maybe YouTube videos. Now everything's on YouTube. Like, isn't there a way around a trainer?
This is not something that you could just like. In this sport, you don't cut corners. The people that are going to be the elite competitors, the elite athletes, they don't cut corners.
You don't think they cut corners with the money though? No. Like, I'm gonna just pay you and just say
they don't. No. Because I actually did the research. I have videos, I have pictures, I have footage of what they're actually doing behind closed doors.
Okay.
And the people that do not have access to those things,
there's no way.
Well.
And they won't accept you.
No, I mean they'll accept you. It's just that you're not up to par. And but believe me, you will know it, because you will know that you can tell the people that have access to all the equipment, the training, the licensed professionals, the diet. You'll know, because there'll be a huge performance gap. There's always a performance gap between those who have access and those who do not have access.
So what age were you when you were interested into this?
I was in my maybe like late 20s.
Okay. Do you mind me asking you how old you are now?
I probably really don't want to.
Okay, all right.
Tell my age.
You look young, but only because you mentioned you do. Only because you mentioned a '90s thing. I was like, okay, you might be my age. I'm 40. So, and I was like, you don't look like you would be my age, but the way you know what I'm saying. So I was like, all right, zip it. Let me zip it. All right, so
and that's another thing. I've been pretty much able to maintain my fountain of youth because I take care of my body.
Good. So you work out anyway.
Actually, I try to work out. I mean, plus I work a very physically strenuous job.
Okay.
I work at FedEx and I live in heavy boxes for a living.
You know, I worked at Amazon one time as a delivery driver for 3 months. That's all I could handle. I'm like, fuck this job. I'm not doing this no more. Even when I see an Amazon delivery truck, like I get triggered. Like, yo, the things I have to go through, the heavy boxes. Yeah, seriously, like. I didn't know. I give props to delivery drivers and people in the warehouse because my cousin used to work in the UPS warehouse and it's a lot, especially during the holidays. Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my God.
This is peak season.
I give y'all props.
When I leave here, I will be going to lift boxes.
Well, at least you still getting your physique and working out.
I mean, I don't. I still have the body.
Yeah.
Everything is still intact. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that.
Oh, good. I don't know. You look like a biker. I don't know if it's because of the glasses or what, but look at glasses, y'all. I've been looking at my reflection in her glass. They're so clean too. No fingerprints. No nothing.
You have to be perfect. As a cyclist, like I'm only like a commuter cyclist, but I want to become a downhill mountain biker. But even if you're just a commuter cyclist, you have to have a certain type of look and certain type of image. You have to uphold the image.
When you say commuter cyclist, you mean you ride everywhere?
Well, commuting means like you're basically taking your bike and you're either riding your bike to work,
okay,
or you're riding your bike for like recreational purposes.
Okay. Bike nerd, y'all. Listen, remember, you heard it first. Maybe not first, but you heard it first on my Lovely Lunatic Leo Life podcast. Bike Nerd is coming out soon. We working on it. She's working on it, and she's working hard for it. So I like your hustle. I like your drive, and this is why I wanted you to come on to promote what you're doing and to inspire other people.
It will be the first hip hop, urban inner city hip hop mountain bike story.
So
most mountain bike stories are, for the most part, there is no urban hip hop inner city mountain bike story. This will be the first time in history that something like this has been told from an inner city disadvantaged perspective.
So why is hip hop involved? What are you going to do?
The hip hop thing is basically part of the image and the marketing that goes with it. Okay. And that is being infused into the industry of professional cycling, which we have not seen as of yet.
No, I honestly, I know there's a lot of black bike clubs because my friends are part of the bike clubs. And I'm not talking about motorcycle guys. We're talking about regular cycling. Okay. So I know there's a lot of clubs, but I don't really hear much of professional biking with black people, or I haven't seen it. Maybe I don't be watching the Olympics.
Well, they don't have, those people the African Americans, they don't have access to become professionals. And the reason that, everything we just mentioned, the lack of training, the lack of access to resources, the lack of marketing, the lack of, as far as like getting access to competitions, the lack of access to the equipment, the elite level, that's another thing, your equipment. It's not just your physical training, but it's also the equipment that you have access to as well.
Oh, yeah, the expensive ass equipment.
Exactly. That makes a very, very big difference.
So, do you have enough training to at least coach a young girl to start? No,
I do not. That is a whole nother different can of worms.
Would you be interested in coaching?
No. I don't want to coach anyone. That's a whole nother. It's a lot of baggage.
Yeah,
I take on. It's a lot of responsibility. And I have enough responsibility dealing with everything my trauma and everything that I went through, and I would not want to project that onto someone, another young person who's just starting out. I'd rather just want to maybe be an example to them. Okay. But the coaching part, I'll just step back and leave that alone for now.
Now, were you ever in the circle of these? I'm going to call them elite in quotation marks because it's only elite because they got the money.
Yes.
Have you ever been in the circle with elite and seen have they discriminated against you?
I have not per se, but I did have an experience. One day I was riding my bike to work and actually got to my job site, which is Newark International Airport. And it just so happens that I actually walked into a female professional downhill mountain bike racer who was not African American. And I walked over to her, and her name is Missy Giove. She said she was one of the top, at that time she was one of the top elite female downhill mountain bike racers.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh my God, like, I was just like, and she was like, well, you're a black girl, like you know who I am. I was like, yeah, I follow mountain biking, I follow extreme sports, I know who you are. And I was like, dude, like, can I see your downhill bike? And she was like, yeah, like, you want to check it out? So she opened it up and she showed me her downhill bike, and it was like at the time she was racing for Team Foes. Team Foes is like the elite of the elite in the downhill industry. Her bike was about $10,000. It was all carbon fiber. It was like crazy sick. Like, so I was like, dude, like, can I see your bike? And she showed it to me. She was like, yeah, like, she's like, you're a colored girl. I was like, yeah, I know.
She called you colored?
Yes.
Literally said colored.
Literally. This is back in like 2001. And
is she old?
No, she's like in her 40s.
That's not old enough to be calling someone colored.
But I was like, yeah, and I know who you are. So she basically she gave me her number, and she signed a little autograph for me, and that was it. But that's the closest I've gotten. I mean, to meet Missy Giove, like, that's like meeting Michael Jordan, a professional.
Wow.
In the basketball world.
Okay.
That's how big she is in that particular industry.
But you saw how little her mind was.
Yeah, it was very, very small minded. And she was just like shocked to like meet a black person that actually knew about the sport, actually knew who she was.
But that's dope though. You left the imprint
yes.
in her mind.
Yes.
Like, wow.
And now I have to leave even a bigger imprint.
Yes, keep going, girl. Keep going. I left one imprint on MJ's mind, and she gonna remember me. Now, who's to say if maybe one day later on your paths cross again, and you're ready, you're prepared, and when this is ready, and that would be so dope. If you see her after this is out, that would be so dope. Like,
I mean, I want all of them to see it.
Bike nerd, y'all. I'm not gonna stop saying it. Donna the biker. This is her story of. See, I said it. It's the wine. Extreme downhill mountain bike. It was the wine. I'm sorry, I forget. So no, that was this amazing story. You have a lot going on, and let's keep going. All right, so I'm gonna read the thematic focus.
Definitely.
This is a gripping roller coaster ride of a Newark sports versus life story at its core. This film is set against the backdrop of many challenges that are commonplace in under-resourced urban cities across the United States, if not the entire world. There is an intersection between family, friends, human struggle, discovery, harsh realities, elements of humanity, and the hidden underbelly of the extreme sports business that garners 490 million participants. Did you hear me? It garners 490 million participants with an industry net worth of 200 billion. Billion with a B as in boy. $1 billion.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Insane. That's insane.
200 billion?
Yes. You could Google it. You can actually pull it up on your phone.
Lord of mercy. That's crazy, yo. And this is what you're up against.
Yes.
It's all right, because you get your story out there. Eventually, one of us will be going, like, blazing through.
I have to be the new face of the industry. I have to. Like, it's inevitable.
Yeah. So what else are you doing to get to that point? Not to say you're not doing nothing, because I see your hustle, I see your drive. But what else can you do?
Just grind.
Keep grinding. And keep riding. You're always riding your bike.
Just keep grinding and working with my manager and my promotional team.
Is there a way you can start like a mini mountain bike club? They could do the one in West Orange.
No. I mean, that's
not a bad idea.
No.
Baby steps.
Yeah, but the bikes, first of all, to go on bike trails is very dangerous. Second of all, you need to have the right equipment to go on a bike trail.
Okay.
You can't just use like any bike to go out there. And I recommend that people have their insurance policies, because if you fall and get hurt.
Oh, true. You do need to be insured,
you need
y'all.
special type of insurance. You need a lot of stuff to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time right now, because I work a lot. I don't have the time to really I would not want to devote a lot of time and energy to that because I wouldn't want to disappoint someone.
Gotcha.
Start something and then not be able to finish it.
I understand.
So,
are you part of any regular cycle clubs? No.
No.
Okay. You're not interested in doing it, or?
Because I know so much about the bicycles, I would not, because me personally, I would want to have, if I belong to a bike club, I'm not going to go there with a cheap bike. Okay. So it's like I'm riding with a group of people. They all have 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 bicycles, $10,000 bicycles, and you're riding on like $1,000 bicycle.
But you shouldn't let that deter you from doing what you want to do.
It's not even just, it's the performance level.
Oh, okay. I got it.
You're talking about, you're riding with people that have better performance equipment than you do.
Got you.
It's not the same
You'll
thing.
be like left behind.
Yeah. It's not
I
fun.
understand.
I mean, for me, because I've been into this stuff for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what low-end performance equipment is and what the high-end performance equipment is.
Have you been in any competitions?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. I'm just trying to figure. I want to get you in there. Like, if you see this and you watching, you're interested in it. I know there's a lot of us interested in. Like, hit us up. DM her. You have Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to put your Instagram?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. No.
Okay. When this bike nerd comes out,
once this project is off the ground,
then we can
start putting a little bit more information out there. But right now, it's in its baby stages.
I like the title Bike Nerd. How did that come about?
Because I'm a nerd, and to be into this hobby, it's a very, very technical, nerdy thing.
Okay.
To understand all the equipment and the technology behind it. So that's why I call myself a bike nerd for the most part.
I like that title. That's a good title. The United States' first urban hip-hop mountain bike story. Bike Nerd. Okay. Is there anything that you're working on? Well, this seems like it takes up a lot.
Well, this is going to be a big brand. It's going to be a marketing strategy. Maybe even a clothing line that's going to be attached to it as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So.
Yes, think big.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Think big. Mm-hmm. Put it in the universe. You're going to get what you want. And the more you talk about it, the more you're just going to keep putting it out there. So I'm looking forward to this movie, and I'm looking forward to hearing your story and hearing about other girls who were inspired because of you telling your story.
Definitely.
And this, what I'm about, I'm the type of person who believes, first of all, my voice is my power.
Right.
I've been doing radio for almost 20 years. And it was internet radio. It wasn't like on a big platform, but internet radio for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And so I always been the type to inspire people just by living my life. Mm-hmm. And I inspire them to find their own happiness, or I inspire them to just be bold and do whatever it is they wanted to do and was scared to do, So that's why I want to bring people on my show to also tell their story too. You inspire people in ways that I've never inspired anybody. You know what I mean? And just putting it out there and promoting and stuff like that. So I appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Yes, this is great. And I wanted to know, because I asked a lot of my guests this, I've been going through a spiritual journey just this year. So I'm like a whole new person than I was last year. I had the gastric sleeve surgery in last September, so I've lost 90 pounds since last September. Right. Girl, I'm gonna show you pictures of me last summer.
I think I saw some old photographs.
Yeah, it's like I've lost so much. So that was the beginning to my spiritual transformation, and I didn't even know that. I did a lot of healing during the time that I was physically healing. I was also mentally healing and spiritual healing. So I always ask people, what do they feel like their purpose in life is? So I wanted to know, what do you think your purpose in life or your destiny is?
Basically, to just tell my story to the world. Someone like me that comes from this location that wanted to do this particular thing, that is my journey to the universe and to the world.
Wow. To inspire people.
Yes.
I love it. That's what we're about. People have been trying to come to my show, and I ask you, so what are you going to talk about? And it's BS. And I don't say it's BS, but I'm like, you know what? When you're ready and when you have something else, then you come on, because you're not messing up my flow. You go on someone else's podcast and talk your booty chatter. Here is about inspiration and having people with a story, and you telling your story can also inspire you. Like, you know what? I told my story in this podcast. I'm going to keep telling my story, and just, you never know. So I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on my show, Donna. And I'm going to keep promoting you and sporadically showing them about the Bike Nerd.
Definitely.
As long as you keep me updated, I'll keep them updated.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you. Oh, so is the blue hair your signature? Because since I met you, this is it.
The blue hair is going to be a staple.
Okay.
It's before this I had blonde hair, and I had the blonde hair for like a little bit too long. So now it's time to upgrade my image.
Got you. Blue is cool because before I had dreads, or I hate dreads. I meant locks. I had locks for 5 years. Then I shaved it off for 4 years, and I was dyeing my hair all types of colors. Blue was one of my favorite colors that I was dyeing my hair. But then I saved my hair in a bag and I reattached it last June.
Oh my God.
So I love if you were to see me from January of 2020 or 2021, it's completely different from what you see now. I was bald and a big girl in 2021, and now I got my long hair back, and I've lost the weight. So yes, that is all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. And we got more people coming for season 3. Keep it locked on my Lovely Lunatic Leo Life podcast. Peace, y'all. Good. That was excellent.
Cool.
You felt comfortable.
Fresh, simple, not too complicated.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be complicated. Shit is. Oh, let me get Bike Nerd. Thing is, I love to edit, but it's the thought of me having to edit that I'm like, oh my God. But once I start doing it, then I have a great time.
Oh, wow.
So this is 14.